Joining me right now is Bellator featherweight and SBG's finest, Brian Moore. What's going on? Welcome to Kumite Radio.
Thanks for having me.
Um, I know recently that you just had your second child. So how is life having two children to take care of instead of one?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Being a dad is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Do you know what I mean? I do many things, but being a dad is by a mile the best thing I've ever done. But I've a great wife who shows me the ropes. She's a genius when it comes to being a parent. So I've got a good coaching in that department too. You know.
Yeah, if you don't have your wife doing, the hard work, then life becomes very difficult as a father, right?
Oh yeah, man. Like I try kind of go off my own compass, but she knows what to actually do. You know what I mean? But we both are good, very good parents. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not one to brag or anything like that, but we're very good at what we do in that regard, and we just because we love them so much. You know what I mean? So we do everything we can.
Now let's go back to last November. You main evented the Bellator 187 in Dublin against AJ McKee. Of course, it was a late, replacement thing that happened, and you went in there. You didn't ask any questions. You took on the fight. It didn't go your way that night. But what was some of the key takeaways from that matchup?
Yeah, look, it was great. It was a good fight. I felt like being a main event in my home country, and because of the disappointment with James coming off the card, that I kind of owed it to people to make it an exciting fight. If I had to go back, I'd probably try to fight a little bit more technical, but the fight was going well. I thought I thought the first round was a draw, and the second round was mine on the night, because John came into my corner and he said, "Hey, you're 2 rounds up. Let's go finish this guy." And I said, "No, I think I'm 1 round and the first is a draw." And he goes, "Nope, you're 2 rounds up." And I said, "Cool." Looking back on it, it was a tight first round. I think with just the damage that I done, I probably won the first and I clearly won the second. So the momentum was shifting in my favor, and I just made an error. When I slipped on the canvas, I thought my back was a lot closer to the fence than I was, and I scooted back. But AJ done a fantastic job in sealing the choke. That there was no luck involved. A lot of people said unlucky. It's not unlucky. AJ done great. Do you know what I mean? And the only thing there's a lot of good things to take away. I don't think there's any a Bellator featherweight that will stand with me. Simple as that. AJ was, highly touted striker as well as a good wrestler, and people were saying he was a sniper and he's this, that, and he is a good striker. But I was landing a lot more shots than him. When I fought Vichel, I've never seen a more scared looking opponent on the feet. He just wanted to shoot from a mile away, and so I kind of regrouped. And the takeaway was to just work hard on my grappling, and I've made a lot of changes to my schedule, to my business, in order to be on the mat more, and it's made a huge difference to my game. So the takeaway was to work and make myself much more well-rounded, and I've done that. I really have.
Where does that style come from? Your style. It's like you push forward, you put pressure on them. It almost like they cannot handle what you're putting forth onto them.
You see, I'm super confident in my counter punching ability and my counter shots in general. So as I go forward, I don't mind what to throw back because I have an answer for it. Plus, when I first started in the sport and I hadn't a fucking clue what I was doing, I was aggressive. That was just my thing. I'm always kind of aggressive no matter what sport I've done. So why, that's my personality. So there's no point in going against that. So I just think it's such a problematic style to give anybody. And that's why when people, they might look at me on video and go, "Yeah, I can do this to this guy," but wait till you're in against me and I'm in your face and I'm throwing shots and I want you to throw shots in order for you to make that mistake. It's a different ball game then. And that's why the guys with experience are shooting on me from, a considerable distance.
Definitely. On that night, Conor McGregor, your teammate, he stormed the cage. At that moment, where were you, and did you know that was going on?
Man, things got crazy after that fight because, number one, I didn't hear a thing of what happened. And number two, my wife was 8 months pregnant. She had a very, very, very tough pregnancy. She was extremely sick. So I was literally getting changed out of my training gear, out of my fight gear. And my one of my teammates going, "Brian, your wife is here." We had to rush straight to the hospital. She got a bit of a scare. When I was in the hospital, that's when I found out about Conor and jumping the cage and what happened. So I was literally like oblivious to what had happened. But it was one of those things. You know what I mean? Charlie, he jumped in after Charlie's fight. Charlie was just so unlucky with a couple of his UFC fights, so Conor was just elated, and that's how he expressed it, I suppose. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had no idea what was going on the night until I ended up in the hospital with my wife. So it was crazy after that.
Yeah, it shows that your team is very close and you guys support each other to the end. And that's good to see, man, because there's a lot of guys out there that fight, that jump around camp to camp, and they don't have that loyalty. And it seems like even though he's bigger than life now, he still supports the other fighters in your camp.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we support him back, you know what I mean? It goes both ways. It goes every way. Like, we have a great team. You know, I was on kind of original team that started back on the Long Mile Road with Conor, and we've got a good relationship, that bunch of guys. But all the new people that have been brought into the gym have been welcomed with open arms too. We've got a great team there, you know what I mean? And what I love about it is I done an interview yesterday with another show, and it's the diversity and the body types that you train with every week. It's every day. It's insane. Do you know what I mean? I done 5-5s with 5 different guys yesterday, and each of them were just totally different than the other. Each of them brought a totally different skill set. One guy was a Moldovan wrestler, and he was on the Olympic team. The next guy was a BJJ black belt, and he's been a black belt for fucking 5 years or something like that. So everybody's totally different. It's fantastic, you know. But even though the team is huge, there's still a tight bond, you know.
Throughout your Bellator career so far, you fought many tough guys. And if you look at the division, you know, the champion sitting on top, Pitbull, where do you see yourself?
I'm top 10, 100%. Like, I was brought in to fight Daniel Weichel very, very late notice. And I'd done it. I'd not even questioned it, just done it, just jumped in. AJ McKee, in my opinion, is top 5 too. I fought 2 top 5 guys. One that's a title contender. Weichel is going to get his title shot. I fought a guy in Hungary. I bet him 10-8 in the first round before finishing him dramatically in the second. And that's what I went out to do. I could have finished that guy in round 1, but I wanted to leave a good taste in the fans' mouth. I wanted to show Bellator that, hey, you got something good here. You know what I mean? I could have knocked that guy out with a 1-2. Look at it. There's plenty of times where he was wobbled and I stopped. I wanted to knock him out with something good, so I decided to right elbow, left knee. You know what I mean? I wanted to do it dramatically, and this is what I'll be doing in 9 days' time too. You know, I'm coming for a kill in 9 days.
For sure. April 6th, Bellator 196 versus Giorgio Belsanti in Hungary. You're going to go back. What do you think of him as an opponent?
Look, you can't write off anyone, especially someone who's had 13 or 14, I'm not sure. Is he 7-6-1 or 7-6? I'm not sure. But like, he's either had 13 or 14 professional fights. He's tested, he's battle tested, he's gritty. But I find he's one-dimensional. He fancies himself as a striker. If he strikes for me, he's getting knocked out. His grappling is not on the same level as mine. I feel like I'm a Swiss Army knife. I feel like he's a blunt spoon. I just feel like I have a lot more things to bring. And I'm going to go in there and do that. You know what I mean? I want to, again, prove my worth by dismantling this guy and doing it in fashion. Do you know what I mean? All respect to him and any opponent I fight. But this guy's not on the same level as me. And I'm going to go out and show that.
You said earlier that he is one-dimensional. You know, if you look at his record, he either finishes fights or he gets finished. So he has this kind of killer be killed attitude when he goes into the cage. Do you think that's going to be the weakness of his when he faces you in that cage?
Yeah, I have a much higher fight IQ. I haven't got to show it in the last. Well, I've showed some in glimpses, but I want to go back to being a smarter fighter than a guy who's always trying to just be in wars like Triple G with the big drama show as such, that kind of thing. So I want to show that I have a higher IQ. He will make a mistake. I'm going to make him make a mistake, and I'm going to make him pay for it, and that's it. But he'll be killed. That's it. It's not going to be kill or be killed. He'll be killed. That's simple as that.
A lot of people, you know, on the internet, you know, on the forums and stuff, they call you a brawler. Do you think that that's an accurate assessment? I suppose to the layman, probably I look like a brawler, but break it down. You know, rewind it, stop it in places. I'm a technician. People thought Roberto Duran was a brawler, but he's a technical brawler. If you want to call me that, that's fair enough. You can call me what you want. I don't give a fuck. But I'm technical as they come. You know what I mean? You look at my shots. You know what I mean? They're different. Look at my angles. Just
look at a fight and just look at my footwork. That's not a brawler. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I have some of the best footwork in the world. So just break that down. And I'm a technician.
Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you one more last thing about your business that you have, your successful business, More Fitness. And you put up this video recently called Monday Motivation. Now, in this video, I watched it. I was motivated. How important is motivation for a fighter?
Yeah, look at it. It's obviously it's pretty much everything, because if I walk into a training session again and there's another 12 guys in the mat, you can bet your ass they're motivated. So what do you think is going to be the outcome? If I walk into a cage in 9 days on that Friday night and I'm not that motivated, but the guy opposite me is motivated, that's going to go one way too. So being constantly motivated is something, and sometimes you have to dig deep and find what motivates you. And I'm a big believer that yeah, you know what I mean, just take a step back and assess. For me, it's my family. Do you know what I mean? I just think of my 3 girls, my wife and my 2 kids. That's enough motivation for me to go through any man. Do you know what I mean? And I think everybody has it. Just sometimes we get a bit complacent with it. Do you know what I mean? But everyone has motivators. Just sometimes about finding them.
To the fans that are going to be at Budapest for Bellator 196, what can they expect from you?
The best knockout of the night. John Wayne Parr is fighting. Raymond Daniels is fighting, 2 legends in the stand-up world. I guarantee I'll have a better knockout than those guys. But it's going to be a fantastic card. Any Bellator show is good. They're always good matchups. There's always exciting stories in behind these matchups too. And I love to fight. I love to put on a show, and I find that I'm always in an exciting fight. So go to the toilet and get your drinks or whatever like that before I fight. Well, make sure your ass is on that seat when I'm throwing down.
All right, Brian, thank you for your time, and good luck in Budapest.
Thanks very much, man.